Hi guys, my name is Mayank and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I want to talk about my experience of using audiobooks, how I started using them, and what was my overall experience as I read a few audiobooks. So, if you want to start reading audiobooks, or if you have already read a few audiobooks, this video will be helpful to you and you will find out if you should continue reading audiobooks. So when I was first introduced to the idea of audiobooks, I didn't like the idea because essentially I had always thought that reading is an experience which is created by two people, one who is the author of the book and the second who is the reader, because the reader essentially has the power to imagine a lot of things which the writer has mentioned in the book. For example, if the writer talks about a specific place or a specific character, the reader can imagine that character in his mind. In terms of audiobooks, there is a third person which comes in between, and that is the narrator, the person who is narrating the audiobook to you. So, that third person is just an additional thing which was getting involved while an audiobook. I was not comfortable with it and I didn't like the idea initially of audiobooks. But then there were also few audiobooks which were narrated by the author himself, herself. So that was kind of resolved. I did start reading audiobooks and I got into a few of them. So my experience overall was okay. So I would like to talk about the benefits of reading audiobooks. The first benefit I immediately recognized was that you could read audiobooks in difficult situations where reading was not possible. For example, if you're traveling, if you're on the road traveling, it's almost impossible to read books either in paperback or in Kindle because there is a lot of motion around you and it becomes very difficult for your eyes to read. In those cases, audiobooks help. They would also help you in different situations where you are doing other chores, like you are maybe cleaning the room or maybe you are just relaxing. You can listen to audiobooks without giving any extra effort. So essentially, the effort of your reading gets reduces. The third benefit that I want to talk about is that generally and on an average, if you look around, audiobooks are much cheaper than books, because if you are buying books even on Kindle or if you're buying paperbacks, books have varying costs. They can be varying from 100 rupees if you're in India to 1000 rupees or even above. But if you're listening to audiobooks, most of the books on Amazon, they are available on credit. So from Audible, if you purchase them, you just have to pay 199 rupees per month and you can buy any audiobook that you want. There is another provider of audiobooks, Storytel, which has another subscription service. So you pay a monthly fee to Storytel and you can read as many audiobooks as you want. So in terms of cost, it is relatively cheaper, which is another benefit of audiobooks. And the last benefit that I experienced was that friction was very less while reading audiobooks. You can read on your phone, you can just plug in your headphones and start listening to them. So, friction is very less while you are browsing through social media. If you recognize that you're wasting your time, you can instantly jump to audiobooks, which might feel like an experience which is more beneficial, which is not time wasting. Instead, you are maybe learning something or you are having a good experience of reading audiobooks. But the problem started happening when these benefits, which I was getting, after a point of time, these benefits started becoming problems for me. When I started doing multiple tasks at once while listening to audiobooks, my attention was very less towards the book and it went towards the task that I was trying to do. So I missed a lot of points in the book, I missed a lot of story lines which were important to the plot of the book. The second disadvantage, I won't call it a disadvantage, but it is something which I have experienced personally. I don't know how many people know this, but when you spend a considerable amount of money on buying something or subscribing to something, you feel the importance of it. For example, if you buy a book worth 300 or 400 rupees, you realize that the book is important to you and that's why you have spent that amount on the book. While the audiobooks were available for a cheap amount, I realized that I was just purchasing them without even thinking. So I didn't think twice before purchasing any audiobook, which made me buy audiobooks which I didn't even want in the first place. So this thing of spending amount of money on something makes you feel the importance of it, and you only purchase those books or those things which are actually important to you. And I mentioned previously that there are less friction when you start reading audiobooks, because you can essentially stop doing whatever you are doing on your phone and start listening to audiobooks. But this seemingly benefit was also starting to become a problem for me, because I was getting distracted by other things when I was reading audiobooks. When I tried to listen to audiobooks, I got some notification, I stopped it, and I went away to do something entirely different. Also, I was maybe listening to an audiobook and I just thought of searching for something or maybe some concept, and then I went to Google search, and then I went to YouTube, and then I was just getting distracted totally. So, another thing which seemed like a benefit but it became a problem for me. The last thing that I want to talk about is that reading books is essentially an experience which is created inside your mind, and you want that you have the experience as much personal as possible. There is a quote by a famous person who says that no two people read the same book. So every person has a different imagination, and you don't want any kind of interference in that imagination. So when a narrator comes in and he starts narrating the book, his style of narrating, his way of trying to narrate you the book impacts how you feel about the book. Sometimes, even when the book is brilliant, great books, they have narrators who are weak, who don't know the emotion of the particular storyline they are narrating. So the experience can become different than what the author had intended and what you would have actually liked. So there are a lot of reasons which were constantly trying to tell me that the kind of benefits that I expected from reading audiobooks I didn't get. So even though there are advantages which I mentioned, I think the disadvantages of audiobooks outnumber the advantages. Just the amount of problems I was facing, I stopped reading audiobooks. I have rarely listened to audiobooks this year. I mostly read books on my Kindle itself. So maybe I'll listen to it sometime in the future, but as of now, I don't have plans of reading any audiobook. Let me know how is your experience of reading audiobooks, and if you have started reading them or if you want to start reading them. And I would love to listen to your thoughts in the comment section. That's all for this video. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you for watching.